Hey, how's it going? It's Yikhai Wong here, and in this video, I want to talk about something that barely anyone talks about, right? And even this is the first time ever that I'm talking about with running a detailing business, and that is overcoming your confidence and your fear. And really, this is very isolated, and people feel like they're the only one that is facing this issue. But the truth is, every one of us, we face this issue. Especially when you are in business for like less than 3 years, you are always this too is one of the biggest obstacles that I would say that most of us that we face. Even up to this day, I still have fear. I still have a little bit of like confidence issue, but not really. But this really, if these two don't exist, means you are not doing something right, right? These two will exist. It's kind of like the kryptonite to like success, right? Like you need to actually face this a lot in order to be successful with your detailing business. Now, barely anyone talks about it, but I would just want to break this down a little bit and just to let you guys know you are not alone, and there is a way to basically to overcome the confidence and the fear issue, right? So now, what is confidence and what is fear issue? So most likely, most of you guys that is running a detailing business, like you guys built that up from scratch, right? At least to me, and at least like to most details that I talk to, like they build it up from scratch. Whether or not they clean their friends and family's cars first, like they might stumble it across somewhere on the internet, and they got so obsessed into it, and they decided to actually pursue that as a business. The problem with that is like we don't come from a entrepreneurial mindset. We come from very like consumer kind of like we go to school and we do all of that. The kind of mindset that sort of program us, and that sort of it will work against us because we are stepping out and we are doing something on our own when most of our lives we are so programmed to follow and follow and follow, and we don't really stop and think for ourselves. And when you actually start running a business, you actually have to stop and think for yourself, and what do you want to do? How do I want to like grow this business? And a lot of times two of these it actually comes into play. So in this video, I just want to go through with you quite a bit about how to actually use this as an advantage and use this to actually move forward in your business, right? So now the first I'm going to talk about is understanding thyself, right? You need to understand yourself, and you need to understand a little bit about your psychology. Why do you have this two issue? Now, confidence, it's more of like not believing that it is possible. This is a lot of like the confidence it comes from this. Like you're not believing that, or charging $1,000 is possible. Charging $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for your services is possible. You don't believe that. If you don't believe that, you don't have the confidence, right? Whether or not you don't believe that your skills, you don't believe your market, you don't believe whatever it is. Confidence, it all comes down to belief that, because if you haven't seen it in person, like you will not truly believe it. Now, at first, I know that people like before getting into like the codings and stuff, I actually don't believe that people are willing to pay like more than $1,000 to actually get their cars detailed and protected. I could not I don't believe it at all until I took a trip to Sydney and I went to a detail shop, and like the guy was telling me, I just closed this car for $1,500, and I was like, oh, wow, like that's actually true. I thought people would just like boasting like on the internet, but apparently that is true. And at that day, I believed that like that could be me. I could be charging that much, right? And then so after like that day, I started charging $500 for like a coating, and that made me feel confident about it because I've seen it done before, and I've seen people charge that much before, and that gave me that confidence, right? So you have to really understand about your confidence, and you really need to start believing that you don't have to believe me or whatever, but you need to believe in yourself. That is the key. You need to really believe in yourself, and you really need to believe in yourself that it is possible, and you have the ability to figure it out. Now, those two beliefs, it gave me a lot of confidence about it. And the fear, and whenever you believe something and you try something new, there's fear. And that's the second part I want to talk about it is fear is good. Start drilling this into your brain. Fear is actually a really freaking good thing, because we are in our comfort zone, right? And this is our goal, our milestone, or whatever that we want to achieve. We have this gap, right? So in order to achieve that, you need to move out of your comfort zone to basically to achieve this. Now, to achieve this, now you have fear because you don't know what this path looks like. You have no idea at all. It's like going into a forest without a compass, without a map, right? How scared will you be? Oh, what if I get lost? Like what if I'm stuck in there forever? So you really have to understand any signs of fear, it's good because you are stepping out of your comfort zone. That is where you are. And that is why you are having this overwhelming of fear. And one of my old coaches, like he told me, like fear is like a fog. Like the fog beneath, like after like the fog, like what's on over the other side, it is paradise. That's for sure. But you really unsure, like because you are going into a fog and you can't see what's on the other side, right? So fear, you have to invert it. Whenever you feel fear, you have to tell yourself, this is a good thing. This is going to be awesome. I'm not going to resist it, because whatever resists, it will persist. So you don't resist the fear, you embrace it. You welcome it into your life. I know it sounds a little bit like wishy-washy. It sounds very spiritual and stuff, but this thing helped me to get to like where I'm at, right? So really fear, you have to frame fear as a good thing. You have to frame fear as that stepping stone to get to where you want to be, right? So you have to invert fear. So whenever you feel fear, you feel good. So one thing I like to do is that I frame fear as excitement. Fear equals excitement. So I always tell myself, whenever I'm scared of something, means I'm freaking excited. I'm like, oh, I'm scared, but you know what? I'm super excited. Let's go and get it. Let's get it done, right? Fear equals excitement. And if you invert it, walking down that path that you don't even know, it suddenly seems really fun and really seems easy, right? Just do it, man. Have you heard the term, just do it? Just freaking go for it, man. Just do it. Let's do it. Let's go, all right? Fuck your fears, man. Fear, it's really irrelevant, and fear is just holding you back. Fear is just holding you back from getting to where you want to be. I'm going to dive a little bit down about what that is, because it has a lot to do with your identity, right? So, so I want you, from now on, I want you guys to, to invert it. So whenever you feel fearful, don't worry about it. Frame it as excitement, and you are going to get, it. So, and one thing about fear is like, I realized that people, they are too scared of losing out customers, especially when they start charging more. They'll be like, oh, I'm afraid that, he will not book, book me in. He will go somewhere else. He might think that it's too expensive. He might blah, 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 excuses. And one thing you have to know, that is abundance. If you look at how many cars that is being sold every month, you'll be shocked. There are so many freaking cars out there. It's way too much that people underestimate how big the world is, right? It's not limited. It's unlimited. Now, abundance, we have abundance of cars, we have abundance of money, and you really have to start drumming this into your head, because if you have that abundance mindset, if someone say no, I don't give a shit. I'll just move on to the next one, because I know there's so many cars out there that needs my services done. So why am I kicking myself when someone say no? right? So you will need to have that abundance mindset. There is always cars to be done, always, at all times, right? Okay, now, now achieving, or like one side note before we go into the third point, right? So like if if at any point where if you charge too much and you actually feel like you are losing other customers, you really have to work on your foundations, because the foundations like who are you targeting or that kind of stuff, it does play a big role on like how much like you can charge, right? So but a video for like another day. But so like if you name your price and then it's too high and that person's like, oh, like umming and ahhing, there can only be two reasons. They don't see the value, or they genuinely think it's too expensive, right? Most of the time is they don't see the value. In one of my previous videos, I said like more value equals you can charge more. So if they don't see the value in it, what you can do is like you can throw some bonuses into it just to get them to book it in, or you can downsell and you can start asking like their budget. But you only ask their budget only after you have named your price, so that way you can sort of like compromise with each other. So I just want to throw this out there, like so people like don't get too overly cocky and start like charging a ton of money and suddenly they don't get any customers, because there are a lot of things in play. And this is like the mindset that you should have. It is abundance, right? It's so important, because you won't live in fear all the time, being scared like, oh, like what if like I don't get any bookings like next week and I need to find like a real job, whatever it is, right? Okay, the third point is achieving rock solid confidence in your business, right? How different would it be if you were to get confidence all set in, right? How different would your business be if you don't have any fear? It would be super different for all of us, right? So first, you want to achieve rock solid confidence at all times, all right? So that's a good saying. That's like what did he say again? It was something along those lines, like confidence is for like sissies. You need to have certainty, right? If you have certainty trumps confidence. So to achieve rock solid confidence, and what by rock solid confidence I mean like certainty. Because if you are certain, how do you even spell certain? I can't even, anyway. So once you are certain in your business, once you're certain in yourself, you believe that you can change somebody else's car, transform their car, you are super confident in like your ability or whatnot. So first, you need to sort out with your external, right? Could be your skills, right? Could be experience. Whether it's first hand or second hand. First hand experience, second hand experience, right? And what I mean by that, the only way to get really confident is practice. Practice your skills, right? If you don't have enough practice, find ways to get into the trenches and start doing the cars. Start polishing cars. Start actually doing it, and stop watching so much YouTube videos about how to do it, right? Actually, go to detailed image right now, buy a polisher, buy some chemicals, buy some compounds, and actually do it, right? It could be your friend's car, it could be your own personal car, it could be your family's car, your parents' car, whatever it is. All you gotta do is to get into it and practice and really start refining your skills, right? Because the more you refine, the more experience that you have. The more you have, the more certainty that you have that you can actually detail someone's car. So in order to achieve external confidence, all right, there's to achieve like the certainty and the rock solid confidence, you need internal and external confidence, and they are two very different. So external is something that that is not from the inside, it's from the outside, like your skills or whatever it is. So your skills, right? So if you don't know how to do stuff, just do it, just practice, and just get really into it and stop reading so much. Because most of my detailing skills, I actually get into the trenches and actually start doing my customers' cars, right? Even if I don't know what I'm doing, I just go in and just do it because I know skills, it will give me that certainty, that rock solid confidence, and in the future I can charge a lot more. So I just want, like, if you are in that learning stage, get as much hands-on experience as possible. And it could be like first-hand experience. First-hand experience is always the best, right? The first-hand experience means you actually do it yourself. You're actually in person, polishing a car, doing whatever it is firsthand, right? You can either learn that or you can learn through second-hand experience, right? I didn't know about coatings. I learned through second-hand experience. Seeing like that shop charge like $2,000 for a coating, I know that I can do it. That is second-hand experience. You want to have both. If you have both, your external confidence, it will be freakingly solid, right? And right, so now, so a lot of people, they have the skills, right? I've seen so many talented detailers out there that they are not charging enough. They have like the confidence issue, they have the fear issue, they feel like something is really holding them back. That is not their skills. That comes from internal confidence. They are very lacking the internal confidence. They don't believe. It comes down to the previous point, belief, right? They don't believe that they can do it. They have never seen it. They have never, they are not worthy. They don't feel worthy of success. They don't feel like they are worthy of like $1,000, $2,000, right? And honestly, like sometimes like especially when I first started out, you know, I feel that way a lot. You know, oh man, like that guy's paying me like $1,000. Oh, like I don't feel I'm worthy of like charging that much. You know, like, but you have to overcome that by changing your identity. Right? Identity is the topic that I can talk for days about it. So basically, like we grew up, we define who we are. You know, we go to school. I go to this school. I have my ID. I have my friends, and all that kind of stuff, right? So all of that, it defines your identity. But in order to go from here to here, there's a big gap, and you are elevating yourself. You are elevating yourself, right? Your identity is here, but you are doing task that is here, and there is like a conflict between these two, right? And this is causing so much like internal struggles of like not feeling worthy. I don't feel like I can do this. I don't feel like it's very hard for me to explain, but it's sort of like something is just pulling you back, and you know like it's yourself. And that thing is your identity because you don't believe that you can do that. And the only way to basically overcome that is to really to switch your identity to here, from here to here. All right? That's a really good saying. If you want to be successful, you have to act. You have to like act on it. You have to be successful. Be the person that is worthy of success. You have to be the person that take the habits of like people that is successful and really to grow into that identity. It's not a one-day thing. It's not. You have to grow into it, right? You have to start taking the mindsets of like those successful people that can afford your services. You need to mirror them, and you need to speak at their language. You need to operate at their frequency level, right? So the biggest change of identity is this is my belief. It's money. If someone book you in for $1,500, you overcome that very quickly because suddenly your identity shifts. You suddenly become from here $200 to like $2,000. You're like, holy shit! I just went through like the whole like transformation process. So I would say like it's very hard for me to put it into words of like this because I haven't actually sat down and basically map all of this out. But identity is one of the biggest things, right? Because in order to achieve success, you need to become the person that is worthy of success, right? If you're not the person that is if you're not a person that is worthy of success, you will never get it. You will always be down here charging $200. So you better shift your identity to up here where you can easily charge $2,000, right? Because when I want to phone with someone, I can tell what kind of person they are, whether or not they're gonna book it in, right? Whether or not they can afford $2,000 right then and there. And it all comes in their voice. And really, if someone is crushing it, you can hear it in their voice, right? If someone is like desperate and need to like get some money like today, I can hear it in their voice as well. And the only way to do it is to elevate yourself, right? Elevate yourself, become the person that is worthy of success. Become the person that is worthy of success. Become that person. Become that high-end detailer that books jobs in at $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 if you are getting PPF and all that kind of stuff. All right, so you need to become that person that is worthy of success. Confidence, right? External confidence, internal confidence, knowing that fear is a good thing, and knowing that what's on the other side is a good thing. And I just have to walk through this fog, knowing that you'll be okay, right? Knowing that no matter what happens, I will be just fine. Knowing that, just having that knowledge, your confidence and your fears, like it shoots up, and you sort of like, you know how to deal with these two conflicts in you. So once you do that, I'm telling you, like, you will look different in a very, you look at business in a very different way. You will look in your life in a very different way. I really like didn't thought that I'll share this because I always thought like, oh, like people might not think that, oh, you know, like what this has to do with car polishing. This has everything to do with car polishing, right? This has everything to do with paint correction, coatings, all that kind of stuff. Because this is the stuff that no one will step out and talk about it. And I thought, if this can make a change in people's lives, I'm putting it out there. I'm fucking doing it. And that is why I'm filming this video right now. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, if you like it, leave a comment, whatever it is. If you haven't joined my Facebook group, definitely do it. And if you want to learn more about what I do and how I can help, you know, I have a free 29-minute training down at the bottom or somewhere on the side if you look if you're watching this video through like my Facebook group. Thanks everyone, and I will speak to you next time. Thanks.